Hello everyone, we are doing a reading on Lily and Jack O'Sullivan. I understand Lily is 6, Jack is 4, and these children are missing from Nova Scotia or Scotia. Please forgive me because I've not looked into it to know how to say it, so I've not watched anything to know how to pronounce it. I believe it's in Canada. This case is recent, so I believe they've been reported missing on the 2nd of May. We are now the 7th of May that I'm recording this, and I actually there's several recordings that I want to do, and I was going to do one big recording of pulling just cards on the missing children cases, but some of them need to be longer. So for example, I've had something I want to say on Sebastian Rogers' case. I am not channeling in this reading. If I'm channeling, I'm going to say I can channel into places, I can channel into beings that are living, and I can channel from beings that have passed. Obviously, God knows everything. I am just here to try and deliver a message, and I don't think there's much going on about this case, but there will be momentum picking up. 2nd of May, I believe, was a Friday, because what I understand, they were reported missing in the morning. They didn't go to school that day, both of them. I believe they live with the mother and the stepfather, and so the kids are not the stepfathers. The mother and the stepfather have maybe a toddler. I don't know if it's a 1-year-old, 2-year-old. I want to say 18 months. But again, I understand it's a baby, but probably coming to a toddler age. That baby is with them still, or is basically not missing. There's been searches, I believe, since the 2nd of May until now. So they were reported missing in the morning. I understand that the parents were upstairs or in another room, basically. I'm not sure if I get an upstairs. Wanting to continue to sleep, or were sleeping, and the toddler's sleeping, but the kids were awake. I don't think it was that early in the morning that this is reported, like very early. And what I mean by that is that it seems like the kids must have been awake. Maybe they said to them, maybe this is their story, just don't make noise or whatever, something like this. They continued to sleep, and so when they eventually woke up, which I don't know the time, I don't know anything, maybe it's when they reported them missing, obviously, but I don't know if that was... It's the morning time, okay, that they were not there. So it was kind of like, I think something was said that they opened the door and they left. They actually put their wellies on, which are the wellies, for the rain. I think wellies is the same in the US. And they're nowhere to be seen until now. I think there's been extensive searches, and we're going to just pull cards for an intro reading on this. I'll do a channeling and more information, but I wanted to do an intro reading. And I believe that's all I know. I do know that I took notes just in case. One thing that struck me about this is, have you seen the picture that the main picture that's out there of the kids? It's like a picture from the it would be my childhood school picture, or someone in the 70s, someone in the 80s type of picture, and not 90s and 2000s. That's really, really weird. It's like it's an old style picture, and I had it. See if I can get it. It seems to be... 1 second, sorry. So this is my intro read. I will do further, okay? This is it. That's the picture that's originally put out for them being missing. It's like really kind of old type of picture. I believe, or I understand, or I've seen that the area around is quite dense, so there's woods, so if they go out, it's like really, really woody, and there's been extensive searches. The first thing that I want to tell you is that there's drugs taking in this house, users. There's a lot of neglect, there's a lot of carelessness because of the use. That is a big factor here. Again, I've not tapped into it properly, but I do want to say that. I could be wrong in what I'm going to say as well. The girl is long gone. The girl went first. She's very distant. She's very sad. I feel like she's probably going to enter a phase of healing. The boy, I'm going to pull cards on, but he's more closer. There's still a joy to him. But the girl is very distant. And so one second. I just want to ask Spirit something before I blurt out. All right, have any of you heard of this case? I do want also to say is watch the community posts, because I actually wanted to put a poll up, but I thought if I get time to do a reading or Spirit pushes me, it takes quite a while for people to notice the posts on the polls. So if you're a member especially as well, please do look at the polls, because obviously yours and the subscribers is important. And also the shorts. I'm going to do a short today on something that I feel like is a bit of an ad hoc messaging, but I'd like to do more of them just in case people need like guidance on stuff. So okay, I'm not getting a yes to say exactly what I want to say. Okay, but you've heard what I've just said, right? So what we're going to do is pull cards on what happened to these two. I also, the other thing that I've pointed out here as I was getting ready to do this reading is someone's going to crack. So if I was the police and I was watching this, even if you've interrogated, I would pull them both in, because they're not in a harmony right now, the stepfather and the mother. And one of them is going to crack, either to give information that's going to help the case or to tell you exactly what went wrong. I don't believe what went wrong was intentional. So I don't believe like, let's do this on purpose to the kids. I don't believe that. We're going to see what the cards say. And I didn't get a yes to say anything about further than what I said on the two kids and the two energies, right? So let's see that. I feel like I'm missing something that I was thinking of. I'm just wondering, there's something telling me to do it like separately. So that was just a question to see if I should say something else. Okay. There is some deceptive behavior here, and there's a lot of things that are being hidden that are under the sleeve, very much here. Now the boy's energy is here. When I even ask about Lily, right? There is a moving away, okay? I wouldn't, I don't know if she tried to carry her brother or she was carrying something. And yeah, it's there's something here of an exchange, okay? I ask, because I don't believe it's an abduction, I ask if there was some kind of abduction, and there's an energy of yes. But I also asked, did they leave at their own accord? And there is an energy of yes. The thing that this spirit's holding me back from saying certain things, and this could be because the presence of the search of them being alive at this moment in time. So I'm respecting that. But I feel like there's a hidden strategy of them being abducted, but they were taken or gone somewhere. So what I want to do right now is, the main thing that I wanted to say was in the first bit, but I thought I'd pull cards. Okay, so at the house, the three of them that were at the house, which is stepfather, stepmother, and the daughter, they were kind of in their own kind of zone. Okay, while these two were separate. These two were I think they were put outside. I think they were put outside. I don't think they left to go outside. So they were either put outside in the garden, or they were put outside. So maybe to play in the garden, they were put outside to play, or how do I word this? Basically, they did not open the door or whatever it is and just leave, okay? Maybe they were told to play outside because of the noise. Maybe they were told, take your stuff and just go outside for a bit. Spirit really doesn't want me to say stuff. I don't know what my question was now. I'm trying to respect Spirit because, and I think it's because they're currently looking for them, you know what I mean? And can you see the cards? I'm struggling with the handing over, the handing part. And what I can say. So they're outside, no one's paying attention to them. I believe the stepfather was totally off his head. Too many cards. There's some money involvement here. There's some money involvement. What I said at the beginning is what I really want to stick with. And I didn't ask Spirit if I can say all that at the beginning. I'm going to give it some time because it seems like Spirit wants to keep stuff, and it might be, you know, because this is an ongoing search. At the same time, Spirit pushed me to do this reading, which I think was to voice what I had just psychically come through to me. I feel, and I can see the police are gonna slow down the search of the masses they've got in the woods, but they might start looking closer to home at the same time. And that's why I say you really need to, even if you've questioned these two, get them in and question again and just say, we need to cover a few things with you, or we found something that's kind of evidence, and so we really need the full story from you both separately. They are not in harmony at this moment in time, and there is going to be a crack. I do think that the other one that doesn't crack, there's going to be signs of either a slip up or just not focused. It looks like they think that they're very focused, but they're not actually focused on what they're actually saying. I don't think that this is someone who just came into the house and took them. Both of them know exactly what happened, the mother and the stepfather, to these two children, okay? And I've told you the energy of, or I've shared the energy of the girl and the boy, and I will do a follow-up reading. So we've got very strong cards here, but because I was still talking, I'm going to ask the question again. I'm asking about the police. I just mentioned what I get and what I see with the police. So the police, I believe, are scaling back because they think now it's highly unlikely that these kids are alive. We see it here, there. And they believe there's some funniness in the situation. It seems like it's only just coming to light. This thought is only just coming to light. I'm recording this on the 7th, okay? That actually there's some not good thing going on here, and the kids are not likely to be alive. So they're pulling back, like I said, the masses of the search, but they still feel quite restricted in certain ways. And I think this might be also to say, because this is how I feel and what I want to say as well. But I have to respect Spirit, and not a lot of times do I ask, can I go ahead? But sometime today, for some reason, it's coming through, and I think it's going to come through in the next reading. I'm going to try and do quick card pull on another situation, another missing case, Sebastian Rogers, because I've got something I want to cover in that. So they feel quite hands tied, and I think this is about what they need to say or what they can say. So maybe when they announce, if they announce, or usually it's a press conference, I don't know, that they're holding back, they're probably not going to say that they are rerouting their focus, okay? There is definitely looking at the mother patiently, okay? And I think she might have left, or she's not in the same premise. I don't know. That would be not a very good thing. But because I was getting a disharmony in their relationship at this moment in time, there's going to be signs that really lead to some kind of breakthrough and the loss here. Can any of you, the girl and the boy's energy is very different. Can any of you tell me also for the next one what their date of birth is? Because I wanted to look at that. I also want to look at, which I'll do it in the next one, because I am a bit suspicious about this 2nd of May business. Okay, so let's see if I can get anything out of here that I can say. We'll share the cards anyway, okay? Every time I ask about them together, it's like you should ask separately. And then when I put them separately, it's kind of like the boy shows up in the girl's story. That's something that was in the cards, that part of what I wanted to say, but was withheld back. But it's just interesting. Like now I ask, can I see what happened to them both? And it's like, you need to ask separately. But then when I ask separately, and it's funny because I get the 2 different energies for them. But I don't think it's good. Like, I think you got my gist from the beginning of what I think on this. I don't think it's good. I'm asking separately. I've been told Spirit ask separately, okay? Which is why I'm maybe getting the mixed energy of like, what happened? Lily. It really all ties in with what I was saying about her energy. Should we put them back and so that it gives it a chance? So if it is a duplicate message, but I do think we're going to get different cards for Jack. And I'm not saying the situation's separate, but there is a difference in the time frame. There is a bit of a difference or something. Lily first. Seems like Jack is a bit more, like I just said to Spirit, can I ask this question about Jack? And Spirit said, look at your deck and you will see a major arcana, which is kind of like, it was like hold back a bit, but I'm going to see. Child, which he was, a younger one, cover up, neglect and abuse. I said about neglect, I said about carelessness, which is a form of abuse, okay? I didn't say abuse because some people think like being beaten every day and stuff, but neglect, shouting at the child, leaving the child in poop and stuff like that, there is different forms of abuse, right? Told to look at the bottom of the deck, but I did actually put the child at the bottom of the deck. So that's what we have as our intro reading. I'll do another reading. I do think the case is going to pick up momentum. We're going to hear about it in the media. I actually don't know how this came to my attention. It was definitely like a news bulletin that popped up for me. And still missing kids. And then I got like, since the 2nd of May, and they weren't at school on the 2nd of May. There's something about that as well. I feel like they didn't attend school for more than just the 2nd of May, but I'm not saying like months, you know, like what's her name? The Moldova lady, the Moldova girl that I always see like yellow sunflowers. She liked horses, according to like just my, I think her name begins with M. I've done a reading on her. Where was I going with this? Oh crap, where was I going? It was something like on like hair. I was saying something that's totally gone from me, spirit. What was I saying? Oh, it was like a month or so that she had not attended school, or she didn't get reported. She didn't attend school for a while, and then she didn't get reported missing until like 3 weeks or a month later. I think that's what I found out afterwards, after my read. This is not like that. It's not that prolonged. But I don't think Friday was the only day they didn't go to school. And I'm telling you, there's a difference between Lily's energy and Jack. But I don't believe that this was like, I don't believe like the parents was like Laurie and Chad Dable, like let's just get rid of the kids this way, or do you know what I mean? So I'm going to leave it there, and I think this gives some information, but they definitely can get what happened through I think also the police, I'm getting this, might suspect that there's DRUGs at the home, or there's taking of that. That came through very strongly for me at the beginning when I was tapping into their energies. I don't think this is going to be a difficult case. I don't think this is going to be a dragged out, difficult case. We will do a further reading and maybe a channeling, and then through that I can say a little bit more. It seems like I have to respect a little bit, which I always do, you know, like I don't like to channel also people that have gone, so like Virginia Giuffre, but like Liam Payne, Spirit was pushing me to, because it was kind of like there's going to be lots of stories that go on this, and you need to, it sounds silly, like calm all the conspiracy that's going to come out of stuff. Okay, everyone. I hope you catch the other one. Subscribe, and also I know I've got to do royal readings and other readings, so that you don't miss the readings at whatever time they go up, and also you take notice of the polls, because that's where, you know, I know that my next energy needs to go, and sometimes waiting for enough voters by, like, for example, a week means I could have done a reading on what you want to see. So if you try to pay attention, that sounds like I'm a teacher, do your homework. It just helps me, like the next day or the following day, dedicate my time to that, because what generally means when there's a poll, Spirit is pushing me in these directions. And it's also probably one of your aspired ones. Okay, take care and stay blessed. Bye for now.